Loud cafeterias and laughing with friends. That's what a typical school day for Allison once consisted of. Allison is a student at Fort Hamilton High School in Brooklyn, New York, but self-identifies as a dancer. When Mayor Bill de Blasio announced on March 15, 2020, that schools would be shut down, the loud cafeterias that she knew far too well were forced to go silent. In its place was remote learning. And for high-achieving students like her, who are typically known for their resilient mentality and persevering demeanor, the shock of the reality of remote learning was quite extreme.
Motivation is definitely something challenging during the pandemic. We're not going to school every day, so there isn't really much of a push to go and get good grades.
I care about going to a good college. I want to go to law school. So I understand the importance of grades. We're all fighting to get into those top colleges. We're not so pleased that your grade in online learning is 100% misrepresentative of who you are.
I had a science teacher last year who was telling us in January that he thought the pandemic was going to be the biggest thing to ever happen. And we were all like, oh, you're crazy. There's no way that's the case. He was saying schools are going to be closed, everything's going to shut. And we were all like, you're insane. There's no way. We thought he was just a zany science teacher telling us all sorts of crazy things.
The first month of remote learning, I was keeping up with all my assignments. But by the second month, it became very, very tedious, and that's when the motivation really began to drop. And I'm saying, why am I, doing this work that I really don't feel I'm benefiting from? I'm just
Hundreds of
taking
honor
notes,
students at Fort
questions.
Hamilton seemingly disappeared this past year, and it's not unlike the rest of their peers. Students like Allison, Hannah, and Yezin admit that they hadn't been completely engaged in their classes from time to time this year.
I'm someone who really thrives off of class discussion, and that just really wasn't a possibility this year. So many students were disengaged from class that it sort of became more lectures, but I really did miss the discussion element, getting to know my classmates, learning about their opinions, their thoughts, what they know, what I don't know, what I can learn from them.
A lot of the times, I might be the only one with my camera on, so all I would see are little boxes with icons. So that kind of made me feel isolated or uncomfortable.
It's really exhausting to have your camera on as a student. Like, it's funny. I had a few teachers write in my yearbook, "Thank you so much for having your camera on all year. You made me feel like I wasn't teaching calculus to no one, or you made me feel like I wasn't teaching government to no one."
The 2020 to 2021 school year was rather unsuccessful, so what can we do next school year to prevent this from becoming a reoccurring issue? We will have to await the words of Mayor Bill de Blasio this summer to find out.